Good evening. It's time to make dinner, guys. And we're making one of my absolute favorites tonight, mango salsa mahi-mahi with this coconut rice. That is amazing. I am very behind on everything, and I didn't even get a chance to get my fish to marinate earlier today, so I'm still kind of putting everything together because, yeah, life came at me quick today, and yeah, I just didn't get a chance to get that done. So, as you may need to do as well, let's go ahead and finish this little prep up. First thing to do, get your rice started. If you're putting it in the rice cooker, go ahead and get that going. I'm going to use the rice cooker because I absolutely love it and it makes my life easier. So first things first, make sure you do that. And of course, make sure you rinse the crap out of your rice first. Get rid of all that extra starch because it's really not necessary. So as you know with the recipe, it's going to be 2 cups of jasmine rice, 2 cups of chicken broth. That's what you're going to want to put in right away to get going, and set your coconut milk off to the side because you're going to need that once the rice is further cooked. This coconut rice is so good. I love it in everything. I like just to eat the rice, actually. It's that good. So first things first, get that going. If you haven't cut your fish, go ahead and do that. I just did mine about 5 minutes ago. So of course it has not marinated. But I will go ahead and get my sauce stuff measured out. So you're gonna have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This is just if you haven't prepped yet, like myself. And this goes to show that you can make this recipe without marinating it and it's still delicious. 1.5 teaspoons of soy sauce. I'm using tamari sauce, or however you correctly pronounce that, because it's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit richer, and that's my speed. So 1.5 teaspoons of that. 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. These little guys are amazing. I have fresh lemons over there, but how great is that? 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. 1 to 2 garlic cloves. Always go with 2 because you measure garlic with your heart. And a drunk hand. Same thing with vanilla. Anything else is just blasphemous. Okay, so, and I'm a huge fan of a garlic press. This is a wonderful investment. If you buy just minced garlic, that's awesome too, but this takes it to another level. And when I get my garlic, yes, fantastic. Maybe that's because I use it excessively as well. Gonna get our pepper flakes. Depending on how spicy you like things, I'm gonna lean more on the 1/2 teaspoon side because that's more my speed. So, for pepper flakes, 1/2 teaspoon of ground pepper. Or 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, if I can read correctly. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. Get your ginger like this or in the tube. It's much easier on you, I will tell you that. Some things are worth it. Ginger is not. Just get the minced stuff. So 1/2 teaspoon of minced ginger. And don't leave out the ginger because it really adds a flavor to it that is pretty fantastic. I actually believe I found this at Ross or Marshall's or something, but yeah, highly recommend. All right, so we got our ginger in. Let's go ahead and stir this greatness up. Okay. All right, beautiful. Go ahead and get your oven preheated. I'm going to do my broil on low. And if you have a cast iron fry pan, you're going to want to heat this up with your oven. Put it in naked. Nothing in here. No oil yet. Always preheat it naked. All right. Now that that's broiling, now that we have our rice going, 2 things down. Now, you can laugh at me. Actually, let's go ahead and dump this, if you haven't yet, onto your fish. So it's not going to be a full marinade, but this way it can all at least get to know each other a little bit. I like to cook my fish skin side down. So I'm going to make sure that the top meaty part is all in the marinade for now. Okay, next you can laugh at me because I'm sure that there's a fantastic and wonderful, brilliant way to get the meat out of a mango. I have yet to figure out what that way is, though. So we're just gonna make a mess. It's not gonna be pretty, but I have yet to actually figure out the science or the secret. If somebody is a mango expert and can tell me, that would be like super awesome. But I don't know of the good way. Just get the pit out. This makes a ridiculous mess. But what are you gonna do? It's delicious and juicy.
Oh, sorry about that noise in the background. I decided to get the puppy a new toy that she's clearly enjoying thoroughly right now.
Awesome.
Okay.
Now, like I said, I'm sure there's a wonderful, brilliant way to get the fruit out of a mango, but until I know what that is, it's going to be a just chopped up mess. And of course, if you can buy the stuff that's already cut up, you could probably even do this with frozen mango. I have not tried that personally myself, but it's definitely an option. Okay. There has to be a better way. It's one of those things I should Google and learn. Alright, so I got 2 honey mangoes and 1 regular mango. The regular mango is just not quite as ripe. It's still a little bit hard. See, yeah, like most of my meat stayed on my seed that time. Like I said, I'm sure that there's a really awesome way to do this. Okay. It smells so good already. Glad I just cleaned my stove for this and put on a nice clean shirt that could be covered in mango juice. That's awesome. Oh. Next time, I'm going to try this with frozen mango to see if my life it gets easier. Because right now, I just feel like I'm making a mess like a child would. Like, yeah. Yeah, there's birds. It's fun times over here tonight. Maybe that's why I do these earlier in the day, and I have a little control over my life. Because clearly I have none right now. And I swear they're just playing in the background. They're not really fighting. Probably sounds intimidating. Okay. Yeah, you can see this other mango is a little bit harder than the honey mangoes were. But you're really at the mercy of whatever the store has available. Alright. And then I add sweet peppers into mine, not only because it adds a nice little extra flavor dynamic, but also it adds some pretty color. And yes, we already know beautiful dishes taste better. I don't care what anybody says.
pretty sure it's factual too. Okay. What a mess I'm making. Okay, so before we do this next time, I promise to have figured out a prettier, better way to do this mango situation. Okay, so your oven should be preheating on broil. If you're using a cast iron or heavy bottom pan, make sure it's in there warming up. You always, if you can, I always try to cook things in cast iron. It cooks evenly. It cooks nice and quickly. Usually gives you a nice crunch. There's a lot of pluses with the cast iron. It's one of those things that you don't know how to use. Get it. Let's learn. Let's learn. I'll help teach you because it's a beautiful investment. We have several of them. We have big pans, little pans, all kinds of. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous actually. He got me a cast iron pan that's like this big. I was like, what am I actually gonna do with that? I use it all the time. Go figure, huh? Like, go figure. I hate it when he's right. All right, so let's grab our peppers. Put the top off. Chop the seeds out. Because you don't need the seeds. Who wants pepper seeds stuck in there? And they're sweet peppers. So. Okay, I'm gonna dice these up. You can go ahead and preheat your pan as well. I'm using my trusty nonstick Gentle Giant over here. I'm gonna go with a nice 5 because that's my magic number when it comes to cooking on it. If you're using a cast iron at the top, I'd probably go a little bit lower. There's going to be some sugar in this. You're going to have some little caramelization, so unless your cast iron is well seasoned, I wouldn't recommend it exactly for this, unless you're a pro. All right. I'm going to do 2 peppers. You're just going to dice these up small enough that they'll just kind of blend in. You get some in every bite. That's kind of the idea with the pepper. And that it just kind of speckles the plate nicely once you get it going. So, got our pan going. Got our rice going. Go ahead and check your rice. Because once your rice is almost done and your liquid is soaked up, you're going to grab your coconut milk and you are going to dump that in to your rice and it's going to soak it up and it's just going to make this coconut deliciousness that is quite remarkable. All right, so clean up this mess here a little bit. Pan's preheating. We're going to need 1.5 teaspoons butter. How people measure teaspoons of butter is just blasphemous to me, but we're gonna rock it out. I'm gonna need a little bit of granulated sugar to go with this, just because it's gonna help juice that mango up very nicely. And go ahead and dice up your mango if it is in any type of sizable pieces still. I'm sure you did a much better job than I did. You have a little bit more than just mush on your plate here. Because I got a lot of mush happening, but it's okay. Got a little manhandled. Alright. So you don't want it too small because you don't want it to turn into baby food on you. But you want salsa size bites. Okay. Now I'm actually going to cook my peppers first. Shame on me for mixing that all at once. So our pan's getting nice and warm. enough yet, says Mr. Pepper. Okay, let's go it up. All right, go and put your butter in there. Let it melt in your pan. Grab some sugar. Set it aside. Here it's going to be 2 tablespoons. Oh, that's for the rice. 1.5 tablespoons of white sugar for your salsa. Okay. Now, how's that pan looking? Are you preheated? I'm very preheated. Nice and warm and toasty. Might set off my smoke detector actually. Because, yeah, it's like that sometimes. All right. See? Got the smoke. All right. Throw a little olive oil in your pan. Get these beauties in. That's what you want. That sizzle, that sear, it's beautiful. Skin side down. Okay, back in the oven. Now, we have our rice going. We have our fish going. This fish is going to cook quick. You've got 10 minutes, essentially. So, set your timer for 10 minutes because nobody wants overcooked fish. Our pan is warming up. I'm going to go ahead and throw my peppers in. Just because I want them to soften up a little bit in this pan before I add my mango in. So now remember, check your rice. If your rice is nearly done, if that water has all been soaked up, go ahead and add your coconut milk in there. Stir it in there. Get it going. Mine. I'm almost there. So let's stir our rice. Let's add our coconut milk in. Just dump it in. Mix it in there. If you're doing your pot, do the same thing. Get it in there and mix it up. Get your lid back on. Let it do its thing. Okay, so that's going. Got our pepper going and our butter. We're going to start to smell it now. Beautiful. It's going to soften up on us. Exactly what we want. Okay, so we're going to get our sugar. 1.5 tablespoons. Ish. Okay. Now we are going to take our beautiful mango here and we're going to dump it into our pan. We're going to dump our sugar in. And we're just going to let it do its thing. So the sugar is going to help bring out the juice of the mango. So that's just going to cook down. They're going to get to know each other. They're going to become friends. They're going to get all hot and bothered together, and they're going to be delicious. So, let our salsa do its thing. Now, to recap, we have our fish in the oven on broil, 10 minutes, give or take. Start with 10 minutes because you don't want to overcook it. We have our rice going in your rice cooker or in your pot, however it is that you make your rice. We have that going. So at this point, your coconut milk should have been added in already. Add that in, stir it up, put the lid back on, close the top, let it do its thing. Now we're making this beautiful salsa. We have just completely mutilated a mango or 3, and it wasn't pretty, but here we are. We got this done. So go ahead and grab your green onions. I went and chopped some right before I went live because I was slacking, as I said. So, scissors. All right, so we're gonna chop. You can do this with a knife. I just prefer to do it with scissors because it's so much easier. So we're gonna have a little bit of green onions here. Now, your mango should be cooking. Everything, it should be pretty much done. Give it a nice stir. Your sugar should all be dissolved. Beautiful. Should smell absolutely fantastic. In case it doesn't, your smeller might be broken because that's the only acceptable thing is absolute fantasticness. So, we've got our beautiful salsa here. You can go ahead and turn your heat off for that. We have a nice mess in the kitchen. Let's clean it. So, the tips for today. Get a press. A garlic press is your friend. Fresh garlic. Minced ginger. Never leave it out of your recipe. But don't go regular ginger. It's too much of a pain. It's a pain to store. It's a pain to mince. Get this minced ginger. It's fantastic. Soy sauce or tamari sauce or however you say it. Invest in good stuff. Don't get the... Don't go getting the cheap stuff. You get what you pay for here. Always have fresh juices on hand. I have lime juice and lemon juice, even though I have fresh lemons up there, because sometimes that's just easier. Tonight, that was just easier. So your salsa is done. Your heat should be off. You can actually go ahead and remove that. You can clean up some of your mess while the rest of it's doing its thing. Sugar. Actually, you're going to need, totally forgot, 2 tablespoons of sugar to add into your coconut, add to your rice when you add your coconut milk. I forgot it until just now. If you forgot it as well, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Put that in with your rice, which is now probably absolutely beautiful because I know mine is. Stir it in real good. Rice is just about done. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our fish. That should look absolutely beautiful. I know mine does. Doing mine in the cast iron, so of course I'm going to do the quickest cook time because you want to check it and make sure it's not overcooked. You don't want to realize after it's already overcooked, oh, well, maybe I should have only cooked it for 11 minutes, not 15. Now I will give you a warning. I could set my smoke detector off when I open this bad boy because it is cast iron and it is on broil. It's like that sometimes, but you know, that's the cost of, you know, doing business. I figure my neighbors just know at this point, if the smoke detector is going off, there's clearly something really fantastic happening over here. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense, right? Another great find today, my friends, down in Tarpon Springs. I went to this awesome olive oil company where they have infused olive oils and balsamic vinegars, both of which I thoroughly love. I actually went to one of these in Georgia that was wonderful. I'm so happy that there's one of these close. So I got a Neapolitan herb, which she said is fantastic on steaks for this, and a garlic infused olive oil because garlic is life. We already established that. Garlic and vanilla, those things that should be measured with your heart and a drunken hand. So more is better, right? Like, who's ever had too much vanilla in their life?
Too much garlic? Okay, well, that maybe could happen, but we won't talk about that. It's not important. So we got a minute 40 going on here. Your fish should just pull apart with the fork. As soon as you touch it, it's just flake apart into some beautifulness. We're gonna put the coconut rice under it, and we're gonna top it with this beautiful salsa and our fresh green onions that we scissored up very nicely. Now let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. All right. So we're gonna take that out in 1 second. We're gonna do it like a ninja and not set off the smoke detector. Right? Right. Like a ninja. That's how this is gonna happen. Very quick like. Ready? Like a ninja. Did you see that? Do you hear that? Look at how beautiful. I mean, really, let's look at just how beautiful this is, guys. Let's fork it. Oh, beautiful. See that? Oh, look at that. It falls apart. That's exactly what you want. And so remember, your skin is on here, so if anything is going to stick to the pan, it's going to be that skin. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And shut off your very hot oven. So let's dish one of these beauties up. And you wonder why I have different colored dishes. This is why, because all of them look better on different backgrounds. Let's see. So we have our coconut rice that is so spectacular just by itself. Like later, I will be sitting there with a fork, shoveling it into my face. We're gonna grab this beautiful piece right here. Let's get a little of this salsa. Just gonna drape it over the, look at that. Look at that. I mean, I'm gonna grab some of these beautiful scissored up green onions. Not only are they color, but green onions are a nice flavor. There it is. You, my friends, have just made coconut rice, mahi, and fresh mango salsa. Do you know how impressive that is? Like, seriously. And it is 5:58, so we did this in under 30 minutes. Another beautiful home-cooked meal. Please don't fall off the plate. In 30 minutes. From scratch, because clearly I did no prep ahead of time. Like, not even putting my dogs away. So, guys, seriously, so proud of you. You did this. Britt, I'm expecting you to make this. Like, you can do this. You can do this. Yes, I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see your recipes. I can't wait to see how they came out. I want to see the pictures. But until then, I'm gonna go stuff my face because I'm really hungry from a day of shopping. And I guess I need to feed my dogs because they're also going crazy as well as the birds. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate... Get dogs, they said. It'll be fun. All right, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all so much. This has been fantastic. I can't wait to do another recipe. I can't wait to hear how yours comes out. And now, go have a wonderful evening. Enjoy this Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. Enjoy it. Have a great night, my friends.